What's up, everybody? This is Tech is Bad. My name is Peter Paris. I am joined with Ed Hughes,
Hello.
and we're giving you the news that tech is bad. What's up, Ed?
So bad. What's up? Nothing. I'm just chilling, taking it easy. I try,
With the denim jacket, being a cool
Yeah,
guy.
man. I'm trying. So you got to dress up. I'm not going anywhere, but like, I don't know. It's a self help thing.
Just like
Yeah.
stand outside of your house and smoke one cigarette with one leg up against the building
Oh
and
yeah,
have a devil may care look on your face.
that'd be cool. I'll be intimidating all of my elderly fellow apartment dwellers.
As it should be. Let them know who
Hmm.
runs this place.
Not
Anyway,
me.
we got a couple stories this week, man. We've been corroborating. I'm actually gonna kick it off. This is
Please.
coming from Screen Rant, and this is we're more of a technology podcast, but this is more on the video game side of things. But I feel like it speaks to tech as a whole. Well, and tech marketing and business and all that jazz. Have you heard of CD Projekt Red, Ed, the game developer?
Of course, yes. They made the highly anticipated and now released Cyberpunk 2077, right?
Yes, that is correct. They are also from Witcher 3 fame, one of those fantasy RPGs for you that don't know. Extremely popular. Anyway, CD Projekt Red, they're known for making these big, expansive RPGs like Skyrim of that sort. You assume the character and you get lost in the world. And they have a lot of cultural cachet, if you will, after making The Witcher 3. It was just like one of the best reviewed games of 2015, just a classic. So when they announced Cyberpunk 2077, the follow-up to that game had a lot of hype, a lot of anticipation. People were like, okay, Witcher 3 smacked. Cyberpunk is going to be just as awesome. It looks cool. There's like neon lights. There's motion blur. There's like genitalia. This is going to be awesome.
Nothing gets me hyped for a game like genitals.
Exactly, sex sells. So they've been, they released a trailer, the first trailer I think like 2 years ago. They've had pre-orders out now for like over a year, and the only thing is with the game, as hyped as it was, it's been consistently being pushed back due to delays. And I never have a problem with delays because the thing, for those who don't know, when it comes to like the video game industry, typically a lot of people get angry, but for me, typically delays are a good thing. So you get it polished. So by the time it is released, it is in a great playable state and it's a good product.
I couldn't
Well,
agree anymore.
yeah, exactly.
For sure.
If Ed agrees, then I agree.
That's
The
how you
thing
know.
is, CD Projekt Red, I don't think they agree because they just said screw all that, and they had multiple delays. The game finally came out, and it turns out it is a broken pile of garbage.
Woo!
Yeah. So the article from Screen Rant, it says Cyberpunk 2077 PS4 Xbox One reviews reveal what CD Projekt Red was hiding. So the game, it initially was released on PC first. Do you game on a PC or a console, Ed?
I game on a PC, and so like that's
So you
that's
think
what
you're
I've
better than me,
heard.
is what you're
No,
saying?
no, 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 no. I mean, I am an advocate for the master race of PC. But I have my PS4. I have my Switch. I'm console boy as well.
All right.
That was the come up for me. I was doing the console thing.
Okay. You
Yeah.
used to be one of us. You come from the streets.
Mhm,
So
mhm.
the PC release was that was the first, and that was the initial release basically. Now that is the version of the game that reviewers, publications like IGN, GameSpot, that was the one they were going off of and basing their reviews off of. And while they were reviewing it, they did note there were certain technical glitches and hiccups and bugs, but those are to be fixed, and it wasn't that bad in their playthrough. So when their scores initially came out, being based off the PC reviews, they got a Metacritic average close to 90, which is what they were.
That's good.
Everyone in the industry, Metacritic is a big thing for people that don't know. Like when it comes to gaming, movies, music, like your labels, your production company, they care about the Metacritic score because they feel like it's a big indication of how it will sell and how it will affect. It'll affect the buying habits of others if they see it has a big Metacritic score, and especially 90, because once it hits 90 and you go to whatever you're searching on Metacritic, it'll have a big green square. Once it gets to 89 or below, you get that you start getting that yellow square, and you don't want that. The yellow just looks ugly. So the initial reviews of the game netted them over a 90 on Metacritic. Now the thing is, the game was a big piece of garbage. I mean, not, it's a game, but in terms of responsiveness, in terms of being an actual product that works, it wasn't good. So what happened was, now the console versions that have come out, for a lot of people, they're unplayable. And it seems like it gets worse the longer and longer you play the game. It's gotten so bad that now CD Projekt Red is actually offering refunds for the console version of the game, which never happens, like, ever. It's a big effing deal.
Yeah. I don't know how many people are going to actually go through with it, but like, yes, to have the company be like, "Hey, so if you want a refund, please don't be mad."
Yeah,
like that's
it's not enough, because the thing is, this is one of those rare games. We get like one or two a year where they're just subject to immense amounts of hype. So to have all of these people so excited to finally jump in and sink their teeth into this game, to now just be given a product that doesn't work, it's got to be a letdown. I personally, because I'm old, I've been in the game, I've been subject to hype. I know when I'm being gassed up. Okay, I know I'm not that guy anymore that's like, oh, I'm going to take the weekend off to play this game, and like, no, it's
really
like,
jump in.
Yeah, corporations, they hate us and they don't care about you. So they'll do whatever they can to make the most sales up front. Now, what is more concerning for this to me is they've been accepting pre-orders for over a year. They, in a call with investors, they already noted they've recuperated their investment on the game, which is ridiculous. Video games cost hundreds of millions of dollars to make. This game has been out for a week, and they've already made up the cost. Everything now is just straight profit, and this is from a broken product. So it's just I think it's a little, it's a little gross that they've been taking. If this is the state of the game now, once it's released, I would hate to see the state that they started accepting money from pre-orders for this. Like, to have the gall to accept money for something that doesn't even exist at that point is yikes. The thing is, I feel like, I don't know. I feel like this instance in particular, it's not going to stop developers and publishers from doing this in the future. Because look, if you've already made up your money and you've had a rollout this terrible, then nothing can stop you, basically. With the call with investors, one investor, they did note, they wanted to know, how did this make it past QR certification? Because the thing is, when a developer releases a game, they give it to the publisher, whether it's Sony, EA, whoever. Well, the publisher gives it to the platform holder, like whether it's Sony, whether it's Microsoft, Steam, and they do their own quality assurance on it. Now, the investor, they noted, how did it pass Sony, Microsoft? Like, how was it even available? And they noted that because they're CD Projekt Red and they have so much cachet in the industry, they didn't necessarily go through the same channels that most game devs go through. They noted to Sony, okay, it has a certain amount of issues, but upon time of release, those issues will be fixed, which allowed it to be released in the first place. But being released, it still hasn't been fixed. Now, developers, they did note, once they stated that refunds will be available, they have 2 patches coming. One big patch in January and one big patch in February. So 2 huge patches that will supposedly fix all the issues.
Oh, okay. Yeah, sure.
My thing is,
everything, it'll be fine.
Yeah, sure, it'll be fine. I mean, maybe, but the thing is what is really messed up about it is, okay, so if the big patch is coming in January that's going to fix all the issues, why didn't you just push back the game a month and release it in January when the patch is ready? And it's like, oh, obviously they want to make it for the Christmas season. They want to
they want to release Christmas the game. Money.
It's it's like, it's not even slick what they're doing. Like, it's so obvious. But yeah, I just don't see man, it's really sad, because I'll say the messed up thing, I'll note what this company's doing. It's so obvious how fucked it is, but all the stories end well. Yeah, and that's that. I mean, like no one's gonna do anything. Like nothing's
What
happening to
can you
them. Like
do?
that's just it, man. I really wish there was some sort of recourse or something. I mean, yeah, there, and you know what's messed up? In the investment call, they were saying how a lot of the initial copies that are on shelves or the not physically on shelves, but the initial source code or whatever, like the codes that they sent out for like if you want to download it through Steam and stuff like that.
Yes.
The people that purchased it early, like the people that pre-ordered it a year ago, like they're the ones getting the worst experience. Like it just sucks because the people playing it now, these are the people that really care. Like they're not waiting for it to go on sale. Like these are your diehards, and
Hey,
they're
man.
getting the worst quality product. Like it's like you don't care about the people that support you the most. Like these people pre-ordering the game, like especially in the gaming industry, pre-orders mean a lot. It means how much money the publisher is going to allocate to your dev team to see if there's hype in it, you know. And to give those people the doo-doo product, come on, man. Come
Maybe
on,
laugh
man.
at that doo doo.
CD Projekt Red, they're raking in too much money. They're probably making a grip off of the licensing from the Witcher show on Netflix.
Oh yeah.
The show is also garbage, but it makes money.
Whoa, shots fired,
It makes
Henry.
money. Pop, pop, pop. Oh, Henry Cavill,
Mm-hmm.
Mr. One facial expression that doesn't move.
He's a pretty boy, though. Let me tell you.
Yeah, I'm just jealous because he's a millionaire and he's extremely handsome. Let me.
Man, CD Projekt Red.
Here. Hold on. Do me a favor.
Please.
Let me know if this. Do you see this? Do you see any change in the ambiance here? Did it work?
It looks a little brighter.
Okay, there we go. There we go. That's
Yeah,
all I
man.
wanted. That's all I wanted, man.
Excellent.
That's all I needed.
Looking good for our visual listeners.
Ooh, hold on.
Wait,
Hold on. It's gonna get crazy. Oh.
Whoa!
Drop the mic.
Level up.
If I didn't have a mic arm, this mic would be dropped.
Well, it's a good thing. It looks expensive.
Yeah.
Don't wanna drop
So man, I don't know. Were you a CD Projekt Pred fan?
CD Projekt Pred. Not really. To tell you the truth, I never played any of the Witcher games. I've watched others play them. They look really good. Like you said, it was really popular. It's definitely like one of like the best selling video games of all time. So that would give CD Projekt that Red the clout, the trust, but they're doing people dirty. It's
you abuse that trust. You know, you got that trust for a reason. You got that trust because you came out with a great product. And now what do you do with the trust?
And it's just a shame because I feel like that was also one of the big things coming out for these new consoles like Xbox One and PS5. And, between, it's the bugs, but also like, are these consoles even like able to handle this game that you've made that's so immense? It's a big game while still riddled with bugs. It's a big game. A lot's going on.
They got all that genitalia in there, man. It takes up a lot of RAM.
You can edit your 9-inch cock.
You know?
It's true. However, I was talking to my friend about this the other day. Have you heard of this thing that happens? It's a phenomenon. It's called feature creeping or feature creep.
I have not. It sounds like a lawsuit waiting to happen.
It's something to look out for. It's not necessarily illegal, but it's like when big games like this are announced. I also just looked it up. Cyberpunk 2077 was originally announced in 2012.
Mm-hmm.
Insane. This game's been worked on a long time. But feature creep is like when there's just a big miscommunication. So you have your dev team and you have the face of the dev team, and he's going out for the interviews and people are interviewing him being like, so it's going to be open world, right? And he's like, yeah, open world for sure. And the devs in the back are like, oh, okay, we got to program this. Okay, it's going to be an open world game now. We're going to make that. And then the interview, it's like, is it going to be multiplayer too? And the guy's like, yeah, sure, multiplayer. And the programmers are like, oh, okay, that's got to put that in. And then like, all right, so your character is going to be like fully customizable, right? And he's like, yes, fully customizable. And so the dev team's like, okay. And this was a big thing in Cyberpunk 2077. People were like, wait, why can't you can't modify your character after you set what you want him to look like or them to look like? So you can't like get a haircut. And like GTA 5 has that feature.
Yeah.
And that game's been out for a long time.
GTA 5 is older than my parents.
Oh my god!
My
Wait, so how?
my grandparents played GTA 5.
I just see a bunch of numbers flashing around my head. Wait,
Dude,
hold on.
Jesus played GTA 5, bro. You don't understand. GTA 5 is older than time itself.
Dang, he's probably one of those guys flying around on the rocket bike too, just blowing people up.
Exactly.
Anyway, it's just one of those things. Like if you look at the development of a big game like Cyberpunk 2077, and you hear all of these things that are going to be a part of the game, they are red. They're most of them are red flags. You're like, wow, that's a lot to promise for this game.
Yeah.
So it's no wonder that it came out and it was like buggy as shit.
Yeah, it's similar to when Skyrim. It's another huge RPG that was released. Everyone knows Skyrim, but when it was initially released on the PS3, a lot of people had issues with the game, and especially with that feature issue, because that was a game with a lot of features, and it was contingent on decisions you made in the story. So it got worse because, like, I don't know, something with how the PS3 allocated memory. So like the more things it had to remember basically as the story progressed, like, oh, you helped this person, oh, you killed this person, oh, you lied to this, it was like weighing the game down, and it just like all started falling to shit the closer you got to the end. And that was another sneaky tactic Bethesda did, and I'm pretty sure CD Projekt Red did here, is where they update the game. Like they'll delay it, they'll push it back to polish the game, but they'll do most of the work within the first 8 hours of gameplay, because they know when reviewers play it, they're going to be getting their first initial reactions from the first couple of hours of gameplay. That's when most people are going to be seeing it, so they want it to be most polished there. And then once you pass that, it gets worse and worse and worse, but the reviews are already out, similar to what they were doing with the PC. They wanted to get the best version, the best appearing version of the game out there, while the game in and of itself was not the product that the review indicated it was.
Sketchy.
Naughty CD Projekt.
Have you seen any of the clips from the game, like that people have uploaded, just to be like, look at this?
Oh
and
yeah,
how bad it is.
I actually saw a couple
like
funny.
PS1, dog.
Yeah, it's not pretty, man. It's there's like a lot of funny TikTok memes about it. Like I can't verbally describe, but it's hilarious. Yeah, man. But yeah, so CJ Projekt Red, bad karma to you. I don't know.
Bad. It's just a shame because PS5s and Xboxes are getting restocked soon.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, well, I mean, PS5 looks pretty, but like, I still don't see a reason to get it right now.
More good news for the Spider-Man developers.
Exactly.
So Ed, what you got percolating this week?
Let's see. Let's talk about okay, so this is coming from The Verge, our good friends at The Verge. They have officially named the gadget of the year 2020 is, drum roll. Can you hear the little drum roll? It's the webcam.
The webcam, you said?
The webcam,
what?
They said. Yes.
Huh.
From grainy MacBooks to elaborate DSLR setups, no gadget had a bigger impact on how we got through 2020. And you know, they got kind of a point. This is the only way we're really able to communicate with a lot of people, or you know, our families and friends. Is you got to get on the Zoom calls. You know, have a little happy hour. That was a really big thing. I don't know how many people are still doing virtual happy hours.
Virtual happy hours, yeah. I remember the virtual drinking games. Like everyone's Instagram story was, I challenge so and so to get shit faced online, and you challenge someone too because we're bored. But yeah, that was a phase.
Intoxication, or like reply chug or whatever. I've done that on Snapchat, where like you're drinking and you're like, you just caption it and you're like, reply chug. So you're like forcing other people to drink because you have chosen to numb your senses.
Millennials with too much money.
Oh boy,
it's fantastic.
So what people learned about webcams this year, by and large, is they suck.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
and it's so true. Like we've made such technological advancements in the past 10, 20 years, right? Like computers have gotten faster, phones have gotten smaller, faster. The cameras on phones are incredible. Like we got phones shooting 4K video right now.
Mm-hmm.
People are shooting feature-length films on iPhones.
Yeah,
I'm not saying they're good.
That Steven Soderbergh movie was filmed on an iPhone.
Was it really?
Yeah, I don't remember which Steven Soderbergh movie it was, but there is a Steven Soderbergh movie that was completely made on
And
an
I get
iPhone.
it's kind of a gimmick, I guess. But I'm just
I
saying,
guess.
like, it looks pretty. It's
handy.
looking pretty good. But the webcam has pretty much remained the same for like 10 years. Especially in like laptops. And I get it, like you have to fit it all in like a lid, like a thin little piece of tech.
There's not a lot of space in there for quality mechanics. It's just
no, but I don't know. I just feel like if they really wanted to, and especially now, like they could have definitely made some improvements.
No,
like the newest MacBook Air has a 720p camera.
Yeah.
Like, come on, guys.
We should have progressed past this. Because the webcam, I think we have the same webcam. I have that Logitech C290, whatever it's called.
Yeah, it's the same.
And I bought this webcam in 2015. And I never used it ever. Like I had it, I was gonna do something, but it just never worked out. I had this thing in my drawer. Then pandemic hit. Then I needed a camera. I'm like, oh wait, I still have that webcam. I pulled it out. Oh, still works, perfect. And I'm trying to figure out like how good it is. So I'm like looking online to find like the top quality webcam nowadays. And this webcam is still the top of the line, best webcam that you can get. I bought this thing in 2015. And now I try to find the same model of it, sold out everywhere. You cannot find a Logitech C290. I just like.
No, same dog. I was so lucky that I had a webcam already, like before the shutdown.
I feel like one of those doomsday preppers that like just had a bunker ready to go, and they're like, "I told you." I'm just glad I had the webcam.
Why didn't they listen to me?
Yeah, I
the webcams
with like a huge long gray beard. Listen to the web cameras. I don't know why he's Bill Cosby, but. It's just how it came out. I apologize.
Now, what are you going to do?
Yeah.
It's a funny voice. Yeah. It's a funny voice.
I don't advocate date rape.
Scandal noted, for sure. So it's better between a laptop and having a dedicated webcam. I mean, this is better, for sure. It's a wee baby step. Mm-hmm. But I mean, like, people are using like DSLR cameras and mirrorless cameras and connecting those, like big time streamers.
Yeah.
Using like those cameras, and I just feel like I shouldn't have to like drop like $700 on like a nice mirrorless camera and have that like hooked up to my PC to like get that quality. Like I feel it could have been done before, like especially by like Logitech, like the people that like pretty much like they kind of corner the webcam market.
Yeah.
They could have done something.
I just feel like it's like they never saw a need for it, so they're like, I don't see how this is. There was never any incentive to upgrade the webcams. It's kind of like how every flat screen television nowadays, the built-in speakers suck. Like any TV you buy, the audio is just going to suck. You have to buy a soundbar, and the reason is, if you look at flat screen TVs, the prices have come down so much in recent years. Like like you could get a flat screen, a 50-inch TV for 18 cents, but the reason is because they take away from everything else. You're not going to get a good speaker system in there. You're going to get the most baseline, tinny, doo-doo sounding speaker that they can put in there. But yeah, it's because it's not the main feature of why you're buying it. And previously, with laptops and stuff like that, the webcam wasn't the main feature you're going to be buying it for. But now it is, and
it should, especially like all the virtual things that are happening. All the companies switching over to like, you don't have to come to work anymore, but like you got to go on video conference calls. And we want to see you.
Yeah, but
I want to see you, Deborah from accounting.
I don't want to see Deborah from accounting. She's got that weird thing on her nose. You know what I'm saying? Like my eyes just naturally gravitate to it. It's like
I know.
Yeah, it's too much.
Fascinating, but I want to see it in 4K. Regardless, her doctor needs to see it in 4K.
Yeah,
importantly.
Oh, that's a good. Yeah, that's actually a good point. It could be like what's her name, Ann Perkins from Parks and Rec, where everyone's just showing her their messed up stuff.
I got this rash. Can you look at this?
Check it out. Oh, speaking of it, check this out, Ed. I got this thing.
Oh, please don't. This is Tech Podcast, not Peter's Ailments
Oh,
podcast.
yeah, we got the eyes on us. You know what I'm saying? Maybe someone's out there as a doctor. Uh, yeah. What was it? I completely lost my train of thought. Oh, that's what it was. So with these like web cameras, the thing is,
I'll pause.
oh yes,
It got real staticky for a second and it got
oh
all glitchy. I
oh
didn't
yeah.
hear a thing you said,
Oh,
but you're clear now.
I wonder if it was my mic. Oh, okay.
No,
Um,
I think it was a Zoom thing. I think it was like
oh,
anyway.
okay. All right.
Go on. Go. What were you saying, sir?
Anyway, what was I saying? Oh yeah. So I feel like we're not going to see an upgrade in webcams ever, even
Why
after
not?
this. Because the thing is, if anything taught me that things are going to remain the same, is when Apple announced the iPhone 12 and they still had Face ID, even though we live in a masked society now. So it taught me if they're not going to change with that, everyone's just hoping and waiting for this thing to blow over, because like once Apple adopts something, then everyone else will adopt it. And the main reason why you're never going to see an upgraded webcam in your MacBook is because Apple favors form over function. They want it to be as sleek and as thin as possible. That's why like the baseline
Yeah.
MacBook Pros, they make almost no sense because they throttle themselves because they have terrible heat dispersion. Like if you run your
Yup.
MacBook Pro, you try to run it to its full capabilities, it won't do it because it gets so hot. Apple will throttle it to slow it down so it doesn't get too hot because they
Right.
didn't make it big enough because they care about how it looks. And it's the same thing with the webcam camera. If you look at the top of your MacBook, it's like a penny thin, you know? You got to make that bigger if you want to put better hardware in there. But Apple, they favor form over function. So I don't want to sound rude. I'm just saying get used to your doo-doo butt webcams. That's the third time I've said
three
doo-doo.
now. That's
on this
three.
mic.
Yes.
Yeah. Doo-doo counter. I have like a little
Sure.
doo-doo counter up here. Just ding. Like the poop emoji.
Please. Wow. Okay. Well, I hope you're wrong. I hope I get a nice, affordable 4K webcam with some depth. I want some blur in the background. Like I don't know.
No, you will get it. It'll just be in like 20 years or something when webcams
Dang
are
it!
like in our eyes since birth.
Oh, okay. All right.
Well,
Sounds fine.
I got something here.
Hmm.
So this one was the one I was telling you earlier about when I was like, it's rich. Facebook criticizes Apple's iOS privacy changes with full page newspaper ads. So this is coming from The Verge as well by Tom Warren. No relation to Elizabeth. Or maybe I actually have no idea.
Wait a minute.
It says
It's
Facebook.
all connected. Sorry.
It's all connected. Follow the money. But anyway, Tom says Facebook is publicly criticizing Apple's upcoming iOS privacy changes in a full-page newspaper ad. And as it quotes, "We're standing up to Apple for small business everywhere," reads the headline on an ad inside the New York Times, the Washington Post, and the Wall Street Journal. The ads are related to Apple's iOS 14 privacy changes that will make it difficult for companies like Facebook to target users with ads. So I just thought this was extremely rich, just creme brulee, decadent chocolate cake in the beginning of Matilda type rich, decadent, because Facebook, Satan in and of itself, incarnate, and Mark Zuckerberg. Look at that hairline. That's nothing from this earth. They are gaslighting you and taking the virtue signaling route, saying, "Hey, I know we're the biggest, most soulless corporation that affected an election of world leaders for the past 4 years, but you know what? No." We are standing up for small business because of this Apple rule that's going to make it harder for us to sell your information to these people that you don't know about. Now, we don't want to say that, so we're going to say we care about small business, even though we trample small business and large businesses as well. So that's where the richness comes in from it. Now,
I am in disbelief at this, honestly. Like,
do they think anyone's dumb enough to believe them, that they think Facebook has their back? Like, really?
I mean, hey, I guess who's okay? Can I tell you the thing that like it kind of weirds me out the most
Shoot.
about this? Is they're going through it using the papers,
Yeah,
like
it's like,
the
dude, you're
newspaper.
Facebook. Like, what? You're Facebook, right?
Like what? Like that's I'm like, okay, so that maybe they're going through people that still read newspapers. Who reads newspapers still? I guess older people. Maybe my dad still reads the paper. We still get a paper, I guess.
Yeah,
So like,
the old people, they don't care about any of this. Like,
yeah, but they see like someone attacking small businesses, and they might get a fire under their butt.
yeah, but as soon as they hear Facebook, I feel like they're just going to tune right out.
Right, unless they're in that like that group of older people that's on Facebook that's been like,
Oh yeah, true. Facebook is the old people social network. That's a good point.
oh, those groups, they just like they reel them in. I feel
Mhm.
so bad.
Yeah, man. Apple hasn't responded directly to the newspaper ads. The company did respond to similar Facebook claims last month. They accused Facebook of a disregard of user privacy. Apple is adamant that its iOS 14 privacy policies will be enforced in early 2021. Now, what continues to be rich about it also is now I don't like Apple. They're not good people. They are equally as evil as Facebook. But the one thing I like that they do is okay. Like the way I look at big tech right now, it's like an episode of The Wire, or it's like the drug trade. Okay,
Okay,
so
okay,
like Facebook, they're Avon Barksdale, right? And Apple is like Marlo Stanfield. Okay,
I
and
like that you're using The Wire.
I
I'm
feel
I'm
like I feel like you
in
can
it.
use The Wire for a lot of life situations.
Yes.
While he wasn't necessarily in the same vein like a kingpin, he did have clout himself. I view Google as Prop Joe. Okay, now all of
Oh.
these people like it's a system. Okay, and it is contingent on everyone playing their part within nature. Now, Facebook, they're the biggest social network. Okay. So they're on their corner. All right. They're slinging their stuff. They're on their corner. They're on the social network corner. Okay. Google, they own data. They own the internet, basically. Google basically is the internet.
Yeah.
Their data, they're on their corner. Apple, what they own is when it comes to consumer products, when it comes to how you access the internet, that's them. All right. They're the hardware. Okay. Now, the way this whole thing works, like how this community keeps working, is everyone does their thing in their own spot. What is going on now is these companies, they want to infringe on other people's turf. They want to start a turf war. Okay. Facebook wants a little bit of Apple's block. Google wants a little bit of Apple's block. Apple wants a little bit of Google's block. It's a vicious circle. Okay. Now,
And they don't have truces on Sundays, right?
exactly,
They go
exactly.
24/7.
On a Sunday?
Right.
On a
Yeah, right.
Sunday?
No,
There's
no,
a
no, no.
code. Okay. Now, the thing is, what's happening is everything that Apple does now is like a direct shot to the other person's block. Now, when Apple does things like where they have, when you go to a web page in a Safari browser and they have show reader view, pop, 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 pop. That's a shot at Apple, right? I mean, that's a shot at Google right there. Now, you don't see it as a shot to Google, but how Google makes most of its money, like those banner ads on the side of the website, like all those go through like Google AdSense and tracking. Like Google gets data from that. Google gets money from that. So when you enable reader view and you get rid of those ads, that's less revenue for Google. That's less data from Google. That's less things that they can sell. So you see it as a great product, but Google, they take it as pop, pop, pop. This man is stepping on my fucking turf. Okay.
Yep.
And the same thing with Facebook, Google, iOS, and now you've seen it with the past when it just with the previous updates. Like when you open an app, it's saying this app would like access to your cellular network. It's like a newer pop up that you've been seeing. That's because Apple, they're not just giving these apps certain permissions that they had by default, like always. They're letting you know specifically, like now, if you see location, every single app, it'll ask you up front. It won't just give them access to your location, it'll ask you, would you like this app to use your location? And now, with the newest update, you see it has the precise location to where you can have the app know exactly where you are, or you can just know the vicinity. And the thing is that's Apple's turf. That's where they make their money. It's not because they care about our privacy and they care about our well-beings. It's just that they know their market. They can appeal to people that are privacy conscious. So though, like, they can get your money that way by focusing on that. And that is pop, 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 2 shots at Facebook. So when you see those notifications, you're taking it, oh, Apple cares about me. This is a good feature. Facebook sees it is they're stepping on my turf. Okay.
It's true.
So this article, Facebook alleging that, Apple is trying to kill small business and everything, which they all want to kill small business. This is them trying to get their turf back. So while I don't like Apple, while they'll kill you in a heartbeat just as quick as any of these other companies, the enemy of my enemy at times is my friend. Okay. In this instance, in what Apple is doing, it's a very good thing. It's like a very love and hate relationship because they'll do things that are good like this, but they also just released $549 AirPods. So, it's a dichotomy, but that's where I'm at with it. And
AirPod Maxes.
Max, sorry.
Max.
So yeah, man, big tech is just the wire at the end of the day. And
love it.
Look, I feel like our podcast, I feel like we're Omar. We're Omar Little with the shotgun, okay? Like,
okay. I was wondering.
I'm messing everything up, man. That's what I want to do. I want to find that stash house, bro.
Scar, man's got to live by code, right?
Yeah.
Let's just hope maybe we can get some Lieutenant Daniels and McNulty's to clean up the tech giants too. They got a little more. They're gonna get in there.
Yeah, actually, you know what? Yeah, you know what? We're McNulty and Freeman.
Okay,
that works.
I love it.
I always wanted to be Lester Freeman. Oh, actually, if you check my Twitter at Peter Paris,
yes.
If you go to like somewhere in the 2015 range, you will find a tweet saying, "When I grow up, I want to be Lester Freeman." It's on record. I'm not one of these new wire stands. I've been here.
To the Library of Congress, look up the tweet, and they have them. They got them all.
That's right.
Every tweet ever twatted.
Ever twatted.
But yeah, man, I think it's a good thing to see these two giants fighting each other. Like, they're going to do the most damage to each other. It's just, you're right. It's rich. It's delicious to see.
It's Ghirardelli. It's Betty Crocker on crack.
Sounds good. I like it.
So, dude, what else you got in that percolating fan over there?
Let's talk about this.
It's percolating twice. Percolation counter.
Time for the percolator. It's time for the percolator. We didn't get to talk about this last time, but guess who's shooting shots at Apple? Samsung.
Oh.
Or at least they were before Samsung decided to do just the same exact thing that they were making fun of Apple for doing.
Just like when they made fun of Apple for what was it? What did Apple do?
Oh, I think I might have it.
Okay, yeah, you do it.
Let me divulge. So Samsung plans to ditch power adapters just 3 months after mocking Apple over the same damn thing.
Bruh.
What?
Bruh.
What? So right after the Apple event in October, Samsung mocked the company. They said, haha, for not including the power adapter in the iPhone 12 box and also removing it from older models. Apple, what the heck? But now, as some rumors have predicted, the Galaxy S21's documentation suggests that it will also not come with a charger in the box.
Yo, why Samsung got to be like that, man? Okay. Yeah, like... Yeah. Okay. What? They'll miss no opportunity to try to dunk on them when everyone's tight that there's no charger in the box. When everyone's got their panties on in a bunch, they'll come out with an ad saying, "Oh, I don't even remember what they were saying, but they'll try to dunk on them. They'll roast them like, "Oh, you got no charger." And then when everyone forgets about it, hopefully, then they'll like sneak in and do the same thing. Like,
yes.
I can't.
Exactly. It's also saying in the article that they're probably not going to include headphones either. So, following the same footsteps. Um, and here it is. I think I found it. So the article also points out it's ironic Samsung continues to mock Apple over the charging fiasco. The Korean company back in 2017 made fun of Apple for ditching the headphone jack
That's what it
first.
was. Yeah.
And then, of course, they do the same thing themselves, like soon after. So yeah, it's interesting. It's gonna get interesting because we talked about how the Brazilian government they're forcing Apple to
So
like maybe include the charger if you want it,
yeah.
right? Right. So I guess Samsung's gonna have to deal with this too
Yeah.
down
Well,
the
definitely in
road.
Sao Paulo. Uh,
Absolutely, and I hope that that kind of legislation makes its way to other countries too.
but is Samsung doing any stupid virtue signaling like Apple was doing, saying, "Oh, this is going to save the environment and flowers are going to start growing up in Chernobyl"? Like what's their excuse? Are they saying
No, no,
anything?
no. I no, they're being real low key about it. It's like you said, they're being underhanded. They said they're mocking Apple, and then they realized like, wait, no one's. I mean, people are yelling at Apple, but Apple's not going to do anything about it. So we're going to save money too, and just do what Apple's doing. Don't pay attention to what we're doing.
It's like
Doot, doot, doot.
it's so
Mhm.
like messy because Samsung's like bigger than you. Samsung makes everything. Samsung makes phones, washing machines. I'm pretty sure they make
TVs.
tanks for the military. They don't give two fucks about the environment. Like they have probably done a considerable amount of that. They've probably done more damage to the environment than Apple. Maybe, I don't know. It's both terrible.
We're just speculating.
Just
They may
speculating.
have destroyed the planet.
But
We're not, you know.
okay, yeah. I mean, they're both heartless, so this should come as no surprise. But look, just don't try to have clout in these streets. Like, do whatever you want. Try to take my money. I know you're gonna rob me. Okay, but don't try to have clout. Don't go on social networks. Don't go on television. Don't make these commercials dunking on Apple, trying to be cool, and then you're the same thing. All right? Because honestly, you're like the kid in high school that I don't even know. You're like Steven Glansberg. Okay, you'd be sitting at a lunch table and no one wants to talk to you, and
Mm.
this is not cool. This is not lit.
Not lit.
Like
I say the word lit unironically.
I don't even have a good this is the best analogy for this situation. Like I can't think of a better analogy than this for what
Mm-mm.
this is.
No, not even the wire can help.
No. Wait, maybe.
Well, hold on.
Hold on.
So,
Oh,
apparently,
no.
this is just
I can relate this to The Wire. You know what this is
wow.
like? Okay.
Okay.
This is like when D'Angelo, okay, when they're in the pit, all right? Bodie
Yes.
was yelling at one of the fiends, one of the crackheads, telling him to get in line, listen, shut up, whatever. And then D'Angelo talked to Bodie and he was saying, you can't treat him like that. And Bodie was like, he's a fiend, he's a crackhead. And then he was like, you're a drug dealer. He's like, we're both shit. You know what I'm saying? And he's like, you got to treat them right, even if they're a fiend. And then when spoilers, when Brandon gets got, you know what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
and Wallace sees D'Angelo accept money because Wallace, tipped everybody off. D'Angelo, and made the call. And then the look he gives D'Angelo, he gives him that look of disgust because when D'Angelo gets the money for the whole tip off from Weebay, when he gets
Right.
paid and he sees when Wallace sees how happy D'Angelo is, he's like, you're happy from this? But you were the guy saying you got to treat people better than that. He thought D'Angelo was above this when he was explaining to Bodie, even though he's a fiend, you gotta treat him with respect, And you're okay with this dude getting tortured and killed, and you're just gonna accept money. The look Wallace gave D'Angelo there, and that's the look I'm giving Samsung right now. You're gonna tell me you're gonna tell me that you got to treat these people better. Us being the fiends, because we just buy whatever these people, whatever these companies release, we'll just buy it because we're fiending. You're going to tell, like, Samsung, you act like you got to treat these people with respect. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, you're all about the money too. After Apple murks us, you know what I'm saying? You're going to do the same thing and you're going to just take that money too, You're going to lecture us on one end of the spectrum, you're gonna do the same thing that caused the lecture in the first place, bro.
Wow. Good job. You did it. You did it. You used the wire again, and I love it.
The Wire season one.
For all of our listeners, it was quite the look. If you couldn't see it, it was
Also, Idris Elba is my uncle.
What?
True story. True story. Pip pip cheerio.
Research.
British words.
Yeah.
Governor?
T.
Yes. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, they're gross.
Samsung's being dirty.
They dirty dogs. So dude, what? Please just tell me something good, man. Like,
I got something.
Tell me something good.
I got something good. Let me tell you. In Denmark, a giant vertical farm has been constructed that's gonna change farming in that area forever.
Oh,
Okay.
Uh-huh.
This comes from fastcompany.com. Not bad company. Fast Company. The vertical farm in Denmark will grow 1,000 tons of local greens a year, and it's gonna be great, man. Like so when it comes to winter in Denmark, a lot of crops just die. Like they don't have access to like certain veggies, certain produce.
because it's cold as shit.
Exactly. So you got to import it from Spain or Italy or even Kenya. But a new vertical indoor farm on the outskirts of Copenhagen will soon begin producing 1,000 metric tons of greens a year locally. The Danish company running the farm, in partnership with a Taiwanese tech provider, says that similar farms covering an area, which is it's a big area. It's the size of 20 soccer fields. They're going to fully supply the country's entire demand for greens.
Whoa. Dude, I'm looking at the photos now. It's like huge.
It is, and it's like futury, like all those LED lights.
Yeah, bro. It's like I feel like I'm like looking at a game streamer's keyboard right now.
It's crazy, man. It's essentially it's like a big like grow op.
Yeah.
Like in LA or Colorado, like, but instead of ganja, they're growing like lettuce.
Yeah. Dude,
spinach,
this is Denmark
kale.
though. You know some of these are gonna have like marijuana in there. Somewhere.
Yeah, probably a little. One of the workers there.
Oh my god, I didn't even know where like there were buildings this large. Like, are warehouses even this big? Like look how big that freaking stack is. Well, I guess if you're gonna feed a country, I mean, you need something this big.
Exactly. It's like you think it's like the size of a farm, but it's like it's not even the size of a farm, which I think is good. Like,
Yeah.
make it as compact as possible while also like feeding all these people.
Yeah, they should have stuff like this, and this is awesome. They need to have stuff like this in the Bronx and like places like that are like food deserts. Because like a lot of people don't know, if like you live in the inner city, like let's say you live in the Bronx and you want to just I don't know, start growing veggies on your roof. That's illegal. You cannot do that. Like
really,
yeah,
it's illegal.
You will be fined, and if you keep doing that, they will put your ass in jail. It's a food desert. Bro, like, and you have to go and get the shitty food at the bodega with like no nutrition. Like yeah, it's a lot of people don't know that, but so yeah, shit like this needs to happen. Of course, it's the damn Danish that would think of some stuff like that.
It's true, man.
They're getting high all day, thinking of like amazing ideas. They have like 2 people in their whole population, so there's not like a lot of bureaucracy and like legislation and red tape to cut through. They just have shit like this. They're gonna be the first people with like flying cars, man. If it's not already a thing.
They seem to be, it's definitely a country that's more open to things. They're adopting things, and they definitely needed this. So they're using. It's just, if you're only listening, it's a huge warehouse with stacks and stacks and stacks of plots with lamps over them. They're using hydroponics, of course.
Denmark's using hydroponics.
And so there's a lot of good things about this. Let me just name one of the good things. Everything is completely it's so under control because it's inside. All the temperatures can be regulated. So maybe some things will die, but not a lot.
Yeah.
And also because it's inside, they don't need to use like pesticides at all. So you don't have to worry about pesticides.
There's no
And the company makes its own LED lights, which is even more efficient.
How convenient
and they're
is
getting
that?
better and better. And the best part about this.
But wait, there's more.
The carbon footprint. Okay. So a new farm covering more than 70,000 square feet will run fully on wind power.
Dog.
We're just running on wind.
Dog.
That's it. That's it. Slashing the carbon footprint of production. Let's see. Yeah, and because it's mostly automated, like the worker cost is down.
Dude,
So it's for the country. I don't know.
this is amazing. You know, it's like really messed up. If we probably allocated only like 10% of our military budget for these things in the US, we could probably feed the world and end world hunger. I'm dead serious. If we probably allocated only like 10% of our military budget to doing shit like this, world hunger would probably not be a thing.
It's true. I'm not sure how. I don't know if this kind of thing is really intimidating to like all people that are already farmers, like all the farmers in America.
Well, they
like,
should be the ones that do it. Our government should give farmers grants to turn their farmland into like freaking warehouses. I don't know, to like put walls around there. They have the land, build it.
Yeah.
This stuff has to go somewhere, right? So why don't we already put it on the huge acres of farmland, give the farmers grants just like we give them grants for corn, because corn is in literally everything you eat in this country. Because it's subsidized by the government. You subsidize this shit, give the money to the farmers, and we could end world hunger. But you know, it's easier said than done.
Will I make more money if I solve world hunger?
No, so it'll never happen.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. Unless Monsanto can figure out a way to like make this a monopoly or something like that, and they can end world hunger, but like they'll like have a microchip in you since birth that deposits 50 cents every 2 days into like their Monsanto bank account. You know, that's the only way world hunger will be ended.
Oh, well, but I couldn't agree with you more, man. I think
I went off there.
U.S. should be like doing this kind of thing. They're planning to spread into the Philippines, Dubai, Saudi Arabia, and South Africa by next year. Big moves. And it all sounds good.
Why
So
South
Taiwan
Africa
and
and why, you know, like the northern part of Africa that's like way geographically closer to Denmark? And didn't they say they get shipments from Kenya, which is on the western region of Africa, which is still way, way, way closer than South Africa? Why is it
I think
always
they're
South
growing all
Africa
kinds
that's
of-
first? It's interesting.
So that's a good question. I guess it's just places that like they are affected by certain seasons very harshly. They
Mhm.
lose a lot of crops, and these people they're spending so much at like a grocery store to buy certain things.
Yeah.
You know how prices fluctuate in produce over here. You
Mhm.
know, but this is going to make it all affordable all year long. You can be eating Caesar salads all year long.
Mm.
Denmark.
You know,
So congrats.
this is like the inverse of Hawaii. Like Hawaii, they got all the vegetation they want. They got vegetation for days. They got vegetation out the yin yang. But everything else in Hawaii is imported. So like if you want to get like toothpaste, it's more expensive. You don't get all the movies because you know it's just like everything's imported. You're on a freaking island. So this is like they're the inverse of each other.
Yeah. No, you're right. You're right. You're right.
An intervariation of variables which are forever interchanging between the miasma of geography and agriculture.
Are you okay?
No. Yeah, I'm fine. You know, it's just one of those things where I got hit in the head as a little kid. But, you know, everything turns out fine unless you're trying to eat soup with an envelope Red Rover 42. But I'm good.
Well, good.
Yeah.
Good. Good. All right. It's a Christmas miracle. But yeah, that's the good news. That's the good thing that's going on. Denmark farming.
You know, I really am psyched about this. And, you know, of course, it's the Nordic countries that do this. But, I saw it's partnering with Nordic Harvest, some startup. And apparently their goal is to make food production more sustainable through technology. So, you know, maybe this technology in and of itself, maybe, you know, just like 4K TVs and flat screen TVs, it'll be crazy expensive at the onset, but hopefully in 20 years from now, this technology, you know, this whole infrastructure of technology and development can be easier and easier to do, you know?
You're going to save more in the long run.
Yeah.
It's
Think of it
just-
like retractable roof baseball stadiums. When those first started coming on the scenes, you know, they were going to be an albatross, they were going to sink your city with tax money, but now the actual making of those ballparks, it's become standardized to a way where like every stadium now is like, it's like nothing to have a retractable.
Gotta have it.
They just put one in Arlington in Texas for the Rangers, you know? So Dude, you know how much money they spend in Texas for high school football stadiums? It's ridiculous. Like
Oh,
$30
yeah,
million
I can't
complexes for
believe it.
fucking high school football. So
I mean,
this is definitely doable. Sorry about using the F word. I'm trying to tone
Whoa.
that down. This is
Gotta
a
go big in
family
Texas.
show. You
Fuck
know, the
yeah.
members of the members of the family that are over 18 or not. But dude, yeah, that's actually, yeah, that's really cool. The only critique, they need more LED colors in there. I'm seeing a lot of purple. I want to see
Yeah.
some deep greens, some like some Arctic
RGB
blues,
everything. Yeah.
RGB everything.
So work on it.
Yeah.
Denmark and Taiwan.
But you know what? Way to go, guys. You know, and way to go, Ed. Thank you for cleansing my palate. You know,
Stop.
It's the denim jacket. That's what it is.
Ooh, it's crisp.
It is crisp. Oh wait, can you do any of the green screen stuff on your denim jacket while we're recording? Show the folks. It looked like your jacket was on fire before.
It did look like that.
And I'm not even using like a metaphor saying the jacket looks like, I mean, like it literally looked like it was on fire.
Will this work? I can do technology. I can do this.
I don't know. Tech is pretty bad, bro.
Can do this.
Ah! There it is. If I
Firebender.
Yeah. Wow. Look at that, folks. Look at that. Who needs James Cameron CGI budget?
I know, right? Like, what's taking Avatar 2 so long?
We got Avatar 2 right here. Right here. Navi, please. Nah, me.
Nah, me.
Yeah. There we go.
Okay.
Yeah, on that note, I think we should end this episode. Let's just let's cut our losses while we're ahead here.
For us.
Yeah. But thank you guys for joining us for another installment of Tech is Bad every single Thursday. Once again, my name is Peter Paris. You can find Ed Hughes. Where can they find you, Ed?
Let me tell you can find me on the Instagram at Edward James Hughes. And you can also find me on Twitch. Stream every Tuesday and Thursday at 5:30 p.m. Pacific time. But I also stream just whenever I can. That's at twitch.tv/SlimDaddyBigBucks.
Twitch.tv SlimDaddyBigBucks, the best name in game streaming. My name is Peter Paris. You can find me on Twitter at Peter Paris. That's Paris with 2 R's because we do it big like that. You can find me on Instagram at Peter_Paris because, you know, lay low. I go in to the side. I'm like the wind. You can find Tech is Bad every single Thursday on Spotify, on Apple Music, on all those weird, creepy podcasts